Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Pause and Effect Quick Play. I'm your host CJ, and today I am trying out the demo for Beyond Our Rule Ripper, developed by Toriv and GJ Staff, and published by GJ Staff. Set for release on November 14th, 2025. This is a visual novel style game with elements of crime, drama, mystery, thriller, comedy, and psychological horror, at least according to the Steam tags. The primer on Steam says, an evolving death game set in a bar where getting to know its players is the only way out. Each person hides one of the game's rules, discover them through their past tastes and finding hidden clues, then face them in an all-out discussion. Only 3 can survive unless you fight back. Interesting. So, this one kind of caught my eye mostly because the developers on Twitter asked me to play this game, and of course I obliged. So that's really all there is to it. Let's do it. Let's go. I have noticed that the mouse cursor is very slow when loading between scenes. Cool. GJ Staff presents Project BRRR. Kind of reminds me of the lettering and styling for Durarara. Don't cry. Everything will be all right. Okay, it's doing that slow thing again. Here we go. Oh my god. That is just bright. Heat overwhelmed my senses. I can feel the sweat on my body. This is so bright. The sun was witness to the scene, but it wasn't the only one responsible for that state. Do these just go automatically? Because stronger than that heat, I felt pain. It didn't seem to have an end. I couldn't even remember its origin anymore. Okay, these are going automatically. Oh, that's bright. Ugh. I wanted to stop it. No. I had to stop it. Executive producer RDL Suarez. But the result remained the same. In my mind, those words appeared again. Flashback artists Matthew Kopat, Sonia Asahani, I hope I pronounced this correctly. Words of support and hope in that moment only hurt more. But even then, I couldn't forget them. They had too much value. I had already forgotten his face, his voice, his name. I didn't want to lose any more. Logo design, Reinderd? Huh. Music by Sonos Vitae. Cool. Finally, it ended. I couldn't do anything, yet it ended anyways. That scene would repeat, main theme by Alvaro Suarez. It was inevitable. A cycle that changed each time while remaining identical. Though was it really inevitable? It is then that I realize this is a dream. No, it's a recollection of the past that I wanted to leave behind. It's a nightmare. I had to go back to reality, to my new life. But what awaited me on the other side would make me regret waking up. Beyond Our Rule Ripper. Alright, cool. Director and writer Toriv. Sick. Alright, let's see. Okay, we're loading between scenes again. This story begins with a selfish wish. And most likely, it will end with another one. Is that bad? I'm not in the position to judge. Though, in my humble opinion, Maybe it is not. Lots of people chilling at this bar. The lives of 10 people. 10 different worlds. Excuse me. Will they be the judge, the executioners, or the executed? Whatever the result may be, I will accept it. It's in their hands. I am merely an observer. Loathe me. Wish my death. Destroy the imposed chains. And find the answer to this farce. Do that, and the true victory will be yours. No, it's not your turn quite yet. Now, the hero enters the scene. I hope you guys don't mind my narrating voice for this. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of that, I feel like. His memories began to dissipate, replaced by the darkness. And from that darkness, a new reality started to take form. The rhythmical vibrations of cymbals. The smell of alcohol. Faraway voices. And as he opened his eyes, a new light. Huh? Where? He surveyed his surroundings, trying to identify his location. What is this place? A violet and blue-toned light covered the room, creating a nocturnal and cold feel. Alluring, yet also slightly sinister. An illumination that fabricated a false darkness. The heavy air, charged with the smell of liqueur and traces of tobacco smoke, called for a drink. From the speakers played a melody adrift on the room's corners. An exchange between a fragile piano and a confident but subtle bass. An elegant piece of jazz, even with a faulty sound quality that showed its age. There was no doubt it was a bar, a high-class one. He stood up and turned toward the sofa where he had awoken. An old man and a girl were sleeping on the sofa next to it, very similar to his. Ugh, sorry. Their faces were completely foreign to him. Who are these? He didn't recognize those faces, and the same could be said for the place. Trying to look back through the hazy memories, recalling what he'd been doing before waking up. The only thing he could say for certain was that he hadn't gone to sleep. The last thing he remembered doing was getting back home. He arrived, and then... blank. He couldn't remember. Being able to reach an answer, his attention shifted back to those people. He decided to walk over to them, but then he heard a voice behind him. Hey, look! Someone else got up. He turned his head and found a man clearing his throat on top of the nearby stairs. Some disdain could be felt in his expression. Behind him, a few more people showed up, looking carefully at the boy. Distrust, intrigue, and some arched eyebrows were the group's reactions. He didn't know what to say. Instead of talking, he looked around again, confused. Closer! Come on! With that said, the man turned around and went back with the others. Without giving it much thought, he went up the steps, reaching a much bigger area. Not too far away, he saw the bar's counter, with the group he'd seen sitting by it, plus a few more. He quickly went up to them. He didn't wait for a greeting. Questions were piling up in his mind and they needed to be let out. What? What's this place? What is this bar? Could someone explain to me what's happening? First off, calm down, okay? Excuse me, it's just that... Yes, we know, we're all thinking the same. Just take a seat and try chilling for a bit. You're not the only one lost here. But I don't understand. Do none of you know why you're here? Bingo! Bewildered, he sat down on one of the stools. Those people's demeanor felt very strange to him. They seemed calmed, or at least composed. However, looking more closely, he could tell some of them were tense. So if I understand this correctly, you all woke up here like I did? Exactly. A pretty Lujoso? Like, Lujoso. A pretty Lujoso place, don't you think? I guess, but... Before that, we should ask for his alias. Alias? My nickname? If you check inside your pockets, you should find a device like this one. The man on the other side of the counter showed him what seemed like a small tablet. For a brief moment, he saw letters printed on its black back, but couldn't read them in time. Try to turn it on, if you will. Following the man's instructions, he put his hand in his pocket, feeling an object quite unfamiliar to him. Looks like a tablet screen. Taking it out, he confirmed it was the same kind of tablet the man had shown him. This time, he saw its back clearly, on which golden letters spelled Barman. He pushed the only button it had and the screen turned on. Welcome to the Golden Jack. Your name is Billiards. Billiards? What did you say? Billiards. Is that my alias? Billiards, eh? Seems like the theme continues. Theme? See, the nickname seems to have a shared theme. Blonde reflections on her long hair and ashen blue of her eyes. On the top of the counter with her legs crossed and a glass in hand, the girl seemed unconcerned. She intoned her words with the same leisure as the sips she was taking from her drink. All nicks seem to be the things that could be in a bar like this one. I got lime. Lime. All right. Lime, gin fizz, billiards, Midori sour. Oh wait, are these... Do we all get drinks? A pleasure, monsieur. Lime? Maybe because my jokes are as strong as citric acid. Or something, I don't know. That's what some say about my sense of humor anyways. Ah, I see, like the lime you add to a drink. And billiards. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty common game in places like these. Maybe it's not the best example, but trust me, you'll get what I mean when you hear the others. Wait a moment, before that. What are these aliases for? How did we get here? That's what we all want to know too, but we know as much as you do. Then how did you know about this barman? It's quite simple, actually. We've been up longer. That's it. As soon as... Oh, whoops. Accidentally right-clicked. Go back. As soon as we saw the nicknames, we all agreed to use them. Just to be safe, you know? Exactly. Could be dangerous to give our real names, as nobody seems to know anyone so far. In other words, we're a group of strangers. Billiards nodded, still trying to process the situation. He was certain he knew none of them and had no idea how he got there. The situation was quite strange indeed. There was no doubt that hiding any personal information was a good idea for the time being. While still surprised by how they seemed so calm with what was happening, now it made a bit more sense. He had no idea how long they'd been waiting for him to wake up, but they probably had enough time to calm down. And on that topic, then the old man and the other girl. They're still sleeping on those sofas, right? We found you a while ago, but decided on letting you sleep for a bit longer while we calmed down, as well as for the old man's sake. It's important to have a good rest when you're at that age. I'm Cigar, by the way. By the by. Cigar. And hers is a cosmopolitan. Cigar, like a cigarette? Yes, can't say I'm fond of the name. But it is accurate. With the same tiredness in her voice, she brought the lighter's flame closer to the cigarette, fighting to stay ablaze. Was it a coincidence that as a smoker she'd been given that name? Highly unlikely, and that disturbed him further. Though there was something else that got his attention. That cigarette and the lighter? Are those yours? Maybe it's just me, but the only thing in my pockets was this tablet, so it seems weird to me that... Oh, no, it was the same for all of us when we woke up. I found the lighter on top of a cigarette machine, and the cigarette... Well, you can take a guess. But if you didn't have any money... The key was in. Don't try to tell me stealing is wrong when, as far as I can tell, we're all here against our will. If the one responsible isn't the owner, I can pay them back later. Yes, so sure. Okay, so cigar and lime then. What about the rest? The man that had called him earlier placed a nearly empty glass, as there was some rum left on the counter. He then searched through the pockets of his shirt and pants, once again showing they were empty. Shit! He closed his fist tightly and hit his leg to vent his frustration. Had he forgotten they were emptied out? Had he not checked until then, or had he done it out of habit? I'm not saying that. Addiction. Can't even think straight. Bartender, pass me something strong. Don't care what it is. Right away, sir. Cigar, pass me the smoke. Pronto. You can get a new pack from the machine for free like I did. Come on, ma'am. If it's so free, why do you care? It's not like you'll use them all now, right? Fine. Luckily, there were 2 lighters. Take the other. While frowning, Cigar extended her hand with the pack and lighter. As he grabbed one cigarette out and lit it, the man addressed billiards. Poker. And his is a Godfather. Like, I've heard of the rest of these. Midori Sour, Lime Gin Fizz, Cosmopolitan. I've never heard of a Godfather cocktail, though. Hey, excuse me? It's my alias, boy. Pleasure. Hey, poker is much cooler than lime. No way, Jose. What's poker without some luck? As long as it's nothing more than luck and you aren't hiding any aces up your sleeves. I'm not one for cheating. Happy to hear. If we get the chance, it'll be nice to play against you. Absolutely, I'd never say no to a good challenge. Excuse me, but... my bad. I guess you would want to hear my alias, right? Yes, that'd be good. I'm Gin. Like a gin and tonic, not Jim. And also, not as in genie, I don't do wishes. And this is a knockout. I've never heard of this cocktail either. I see. Gin is in the... Oh, my recording froze for a sec. The one made with juniper, right? Gin is already... Oh, whoops. Back. Gin is already way too weird, dude. Don't make it worse calling me Juniper. Sorry. It really is true what you were saying about the theming. It's all related to the bar. Can't complain too much, though. At least there's lots of drinks. With a smile and waving an empty glass in the air, ice cubes clinking within the container, Jin put her keen sights on the man behind the counter. Cocktail. Hey, give me another one. Right ahead. Billiards observed him and his mannerisms. Dry and stoic, responding politely to the others, seemingly used to serving drinks. The skill in his hands and his control over the bottles were also quite remarkable. Wait, did you say cocktail? Affirmative. Cocktail is the alias I have received. So the bartender's in on this too? Six. Amarina Chupido? Never heard of that either. Seems like you're good at handling drinks. Indeed, I have some experience on the matter. I'd say it's more than just some. If you are in need, I can make you any drink. I think I'm fine, thanks. Come on, don't be shy. It's in times like these where drinking is justified. After all, alcohol fuels the flame inside of our hearts. What? Ignore him, he already sounds drunk. Nah, that's just how I roll. You need way more than this to waste me, I assure you. And you are? And you are? My pseudonym is Darts. He looks suave, I like that. I dig his look, I dig his vibe. And your drink is Yellowbird. I am learning all sorts of things today. Like these two I recognize, and then Knockout, Amarina, Chupido, Cosmopolitan I know. Godfather, Yellowbird. I have things to look up. The looks on the guy were quite curious. In fact, Billiards couldn't find the right words to describe him. While his eye bags showed weariness, his gaze was vibrant. Darts. Alright. I find it very fitting, I have to say. Why? Now is not the appropriate time to go into details. Maybe at some other point. Okay, so then it's cigar, lime, poker, gin, cocktail, and darts. His eyes suddenly sighted a seventh person that he hadn't noticed until then. A child. A kid of around 11 or 12 years old was sitting on the stool behind Darts. I gotta say, this writing feels pretty natural. I mean, it's taken a while to just, like, blaze through this narrative, but I don't even know where this demo ends. But, the writing is pretty good, I gotta say. Or at least I like it. A kid of around 11 or 12 years old was sitting on the stool behind Darts. He hadn't said a single word since he got there. Billiards leaned into the counter to get a better look at him. Their glances crossed for an instant. And you are? The boy gazed at Billiards briefly, seemingly judging him. And once he was done with his quick observation, lowered his face, clearly distrustful, and answered, Piano. Huh? My nickname's Piano. Pineapple Passion. Why does he get a drink if he's 12? I see. Is he okay? Looks angry. I'd understand if he was after waking up here with no explanation, but we're not the ones he should be mad at. Well, to be fair, it makes sense for his age, though I didn't act like that as a kid. Trying to be lenient, he decided to leave it at that. Someone else, however, thought differently. You could try being a little more friendly, you know. No. Billiards. Hey, Billiardo! A hand touched his shoulder. Oh, what? Oh, right, I'm Billiards. Sorry, haven't gotten used to that name yet. No pasa nada. You aren't alone. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, don't you think your namey is just a tiny bitty too longy? Actually, yeah, now that you mention it, Billiards doesn't roll off the tongue too well. Exactly, and so because of that, I hereby propose that you be renamed. Insert drum roll here. Bill! How's that? Almost sounds like a real name and everything. I mean, it is, but sure sounds good, I guess. You can all call me Bill. It's probably going to be much easier to get used to than Billiards. Great! Then I, Lime, baptize you as Bill. Amen. She's funny, I like her. The newly renamed Bill then remembered the two people that had yet to awaken, the girl and the old man. By the way, shouldn't we wake up the other two already? Yeah, it's about time. We've waited enough. The group decides to get up and peek at the lower couch area where he'd woken up. One sec, I need water. Sorry about that. The old man's head was visible above the back of one of the couches. However, the spot next to him where the girl had been was now... Huh? Where's the girl? I only see Gramps. Bill went down the steps and up to the couches. The girl had indeed disappeared. Confused, he started to search around for any trace of her. The old man's eyebrows then began to move while he was trying to open his eyes. Bill looked at him. The man put his hand on his nape and started to massage its tired muscles. He rubbed his eyelids and looked back at the bewildered boy. Finally, before talking, he licked his dry lips. St. Peter, is it you? What? This is heaven, no? From the higher area, the rest of the group, paying attention to what was happening, started to murmur. Some laughs could be heard. The old man turned around at the origin of the noise. Wasn't expecting to find a bar up here. Better than expected. If you get to drink, that is. Unfortunately for us all, this doesn't seem to be a paradise whatsoever. Esato, being a bar, it's probably more like a purgatory, if you know what I mean. Please, sir, come over here. We will try to explain as best we can. Oh, where'd the music go? The old man got up with some struggle and looked at Bill one more time before leaving with the rest. It was then that Bill remembered he hadn't found the girl yet. He turned his head toward the nearby tables. On one of them, sitting on a chair examining a barman like his, was the girl. Hey. Excuse me, hi. Her eyes didn't react to the greeting. She kept staring at her barman's screen. Did she not hear me? Could she be deaf? Hello? Can you hear me? What do you want? Oh, I thought you couldn't hear me. With the suspicion of deafness out, Bill could only think of one other explanation for the lack of a response. She isn't just ignoring me, is she? I see you also have a barman. You have an alias too, right? Mine is Bill. Well, actually, it's Billiards. And yours? Coffee. That's interesting. But I guess you would find coffee at a bar. Irish coffee. Huh? Coffee? Lime? Oh. Yo, Billy, my man, my dude, what's up? Come to see what you were up to, or came to see what you were up to. I see you've got a new friend. Hey, Houston, Earth to Bill, man. Lime waved enthusiastically at Coffee, but she didn't get anything more than a slight head movement of unknown meaning in response. The others will want to meet her, so come with me to the counter and beyond. Andiamo! With that, Lime went back to the counter shouting, Hey guys, it's coffee time! What's wrong with her? Let's go. Without a word, the girl got up and headed to the counter. He did the same. So am I going to have all 10 drinks now? Yes. Oh, you're correct. It turned on. See, my personal war with these gadgets has been long-standing, albeit this one is easy to use. Not long ago, I bought one of those mobile telephones, you know. I'm still learning, though you can't ask too much of somebody my age. Fascinating. Forget your war stories and respond, geezer. What does it say on the screen? Let's take a look. Ha! This thing knows me well. It says vodka. Vodka, huh? So the old man's name is Vodka. I kind of like that. So then his is Vodka Stinger. Is that just... It's not vodka on the rocks, is it? It could be. I don't know. Lots and lots of it did I drink when I was youngster. When I was a youngster. Together we would make a good cocktail. No doubt. I can prepare it if you still wish. Maybe later, but before we start drinking, it'd be nice to know why we're here. We should already have all the pseudonyms, no? The what? Still don't get why it says vodka here. This ain't a bottle. Can't drink it. That's your name for now, unless you'd like to tell us your real one. I may be old, but not dumb. If there's a code name, it must be for something. Trust me on this. Gramps doesn't fool around. Thanks. Well, now what? What is this for? As all of them had introduced themselves, more or less, the big question reappeared. Yeah, we need answers. Someone must have brought us here. A kidnapping. Kidnapping? Me? What for? I'd be the winning party as long as the kidnapper takes care of me. Having free access to this bar already makes it a-okay as far as I'm concerned. Don't say such things. I'm sure your family must be very worried right now. Bah. Is your relationship with him that bad? Is that a yes? According to my, Fliegen de Rechen Kartoffel, I'm not even gonna try. I would quantify within a margin of error that mayhaps it is Shirley. Well, I think she's lost it completely. That didn't take long. You can't lose what you never had. That's my secret. Copyrighted. Don't steal it. Original character, do not steal. I just want to know what sort of substance you're on. For research and preservation. Nothing illegal, officer. It's all natural, baby. This really isn't the right time for this. This has to be a kidnapping, right? Somebody put us to sleep and locked us up in this abandoned bar. Silence filled the room for a few seconds. Although we understood that most of them had been awake for longer, it still felt strange that they had accepted it so rapidly. There was a piece missing, an important piece to understand the situation, and that was... No, you got one thing wrong. That's what we assumed when we woke up. That's what you'd expect in this kind of scenario, if it's even something you can expect. And yet, while it looks like we were captured and carried here somehow, Poker looked at what seemed to be the only entrance and exit of the bar. We checked the door and it's open. We aren't locked up here. However, that doesn't mean we can't get outside. If we go out and explore, we could run into closed doors. Wait. The door isn't locked, but you didn't go out? Some insisted in doing so, but I convinced them against it until all of us woke up. In a situation like this one, not taking any hasty decisions is key. And now that we're all here, it's time to see what awaits us outside the bar. Huh? Not even going to let me have one sip before we leave? I can serve you a drink if you wish, but... Not now. I'd like to get out of here as soon as possible. Well, go right ahead if you want. Nobody's gonna stop you. No, we must stay. It was then that the conversation took a different path. A path that had no way back. They all turned toward the new voice. You should check the rules. Coffee, who had remained invisible up to that point, gained the attention of everyone present with her gaze still on the barman. What? The what? Oh, yeah, this thing contains... something. Jin raised her barman high to call everyone's attention. Probably something related to our situation. We decided to wait until we were all together before checking anything. Another reason why we chose to remain here. But somebody seems to have jumped the gun. Well, might as well check before we head out. Let's see what are these so-called rules. I had a bad feeling about this. Please touch the screen to proceed. Nervous, Bill turned on the barman once more. Again, the presentation screen with the name Billiards appeared. He didn't want to follow orders coming from such a shady object, but if he wanted to find out what was going on, he had to touch the screen. Trying to relax, he took a deep breath and... blink. The game will not begin until all players have read the core rules. Until then, all other barman functions will be locked. After touching the screen, the name disappeared and was replaced by a message. And indeed, there were several menus, only the first one was unlocked. Rules. More and more, Bill wasn't sure if it could be anything good. I misread that, but that's fine. But to find out what it all meant, he had no choice. Players must take... Oh. What's happening? The greeting message from their kidnapper. Hello? Oh, okay. Welcome to the Golden Jack. You have been chosen to play a game. Your bodies have been poisoned. It's a slow poison. If you win the game, you will receive the antidote. If you want to come out alive, you'll have to partake. My motives are irrelevant to you. If you want revenge, first you'll have to win. From now on, you are chained to my rules, and you yourselves will become those rules. These rules will be your shackles, but also your weapons. Break them, and you'll be set free. It's likely you'll want to evade reality. This is a dream. This is a joke. This isn't for real. You are free to think so. In an hour, you'll feel the first symptoms of the poison. It will be then when you'll have to make a choice. Otherwise, it will be the end. Be strong. Find your allies. Defeat your enemies. Excuse me. And see what lies beyond. From the very bottom of my being, I await a good game. The Owner. Players must take part in the game following the... Oh! Everyone fell completely silent, staring at their screens, some reading while others were still trying to understand what was happening. Players must take part in the game following the rules. All players have been poisoned. The poison will take effect in 1 hour and 5 minutes from the start of the game, but after an hour, at XX o'clock, antidotes that delay death by 1 hour will be distributed. Each player has a specific antidote and others won't have an effect. If an antidote is broken, falls to the floor, or is drunk by the wrong player, be it accidental or deliberate, it shall be replaced. If a player breaks a rule or is eliminated for any other reason, that player won't receive their antidote. When the game is won, an antidote that completely removes the poison shall be rewarded. To Bill and probably everyone else, it felt like he was... Oh, whoops. Okay, so I did read that correct. Would anyone mind discussing this together? I think it would help understand the situation if we talked about it. Cocktail broke the silence with an appeased tone, trying to maintain peace. The world returned and Bill was thrown out of his trance, not even remembering if he had been breathing. Poker frowned. The calmness he had shown up until then was gone. In general, all seemed to have been affected to some degree. Yeah, sounds good. What do you think about this whole mess? This is ridiculous. The door is open. I'm not taking part in this. It's like one of those horror films, but they left the door open. We can just leave, right? What's the point of kidnapping us if it's optional? Well, this doesn't read like it's optional, but... No, it's obviously not optional. Running away isn't an option. Why not? The poison. Assuming it's real, it'll kill us if we set foot outside. Not if we go look for help, if we manage to find a hospital, or... If someone put in this much effort setting up this shit, it's really not some Well, okay, hidden camera joke. It should be smart enough to make sure the poison ain't easy to get rid of. What we saw behind the exit door when we made sure it was open made it clear as damn crystal. What's on the other side? A corridor. We ain't getting out of here just by getting off this bar. And even though this door is not open, the one leading outside might not. In fact, I would bet it's not. There must be some windows in this building. I'm not very athletic, so it's maybe not the best idea, but if that's the only choice we have. And as far as this bar is concerned, I've yet to see a single window around. And if we found any outside the bar, sure, that'd be an option as long as we aren't too high up. Even if you were the world champion of Olympic jumping, you'd still die if you fell like 10 floors plus. Those of you that can climb walls superhero style are in luck, meanwhile the rest of us mortals are quite screwed. They couldn't be so sure until they checked. Okay. I feel like if I keep narrating, I haven't really made much progress. Okay. Have we really been poisoned? Sorry, I need more water. To play, a barman device is required, of which there is one for each player that can only be used by that player. Under no circumstances can a player intentionally look at the screen of another's barman while it's on, show their own screen while it's turned on to another player, or break or perform any violent actions to any barman. Each player has a numbered rule associated with them. Players can break that rule without penalty or limit. Link between two players can allow the infringement of the partner's rule. Interesting. Now you want to play? Nah, but under less criminal circumstances, maybe I would. Player dies, the associated rule will be removed from the game permanently. Ah, I see. As I presumed, an incentive to eliminate others. The fewer there are, the more freedom for the remainders. Depending on what the rules are, the game could open up a lot. The way he spoke made it sound simple. I'm just gonna read at this point. I do remember when the developers asked me to play their game, I remember watching the trailer and getting a sense that this was inspired by the Zero Escape series, based on like 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, Virtue's Last Reward, and Zero Time Dilemma. And they did indeed say that that was a big part of it. To unveil the rule that each player possesses, help in the form of data has been distributed among players. As well as hints hidden throughout the play area to connect the data with a player. And finally, the most important part, the last base rule of the game which confirmed their fears. The game will continue until 3 or less players remain alive. Until then, nobody can exit the building. That bar was in truth a jail cell, even with its door open. Interesting. Not funny anymore. Honestly, if I had to choose, I feel like I would probably save. Okay, so this is me. I feel like I would probably save piano and lime. Just off rip. Whatever you say, old fart. Darts is third place. Okay. Okay, keep it going. Oh. Then we have to play this no matter what? No. Finally, he took action. Even though we're strangers, we shouldn't participate in something that involves killing each other. We can't. Trying not to think about it, the word kill spewed out of him as if he had tried to get it out of his head. He didn't want to imagine how things would end up if the situation got out of hand. Ooh. Everyone touched their screens and the rules appeared. Secret objective. Accusers. Oh. A list of 10 rules. A quick look over them was enough to leave him breathless. Before he could calm down and read them, Bill heard their voices. So ours is the one marked, yeah? Seems so. Yikes, this is way too much stuff all at once. Oh mama, oh papa, we goofed and we planked. What? I see. Okay. I wish I could just get rid of this. Intended killing is forbidden except with an accusal or being a spy. You must remain inside the Golden Jack. In each council, one player will have to say their numbers publicly. Lying is allowed, but without repeating a number until all have been declared. If a lie is proven, the real number will have to be given. If the game continues after 10 hours have passed, player will have to end it immediately with their Immediately after a rule's death, the player with this number will have the option to swap it with the fallen rule. In an accusal, the person with the accused number will have to abstain from voting. If a majority is reached, but the chosen person is incorrect, the accusers won't be able to vote for that person. Again, in future accusations, when data is revealed to others, no part can be omitted or faked, and each player can only unlock one data per hour. Messaging is only allowed when responding to received messages, requiring a coherent response in less than 10 minutes after being sent unless a council is underway. I can't read number 9. Cool. At the start of every hour, each player will be assigned a secret objective that has to be completed before the next one without being discovered. Links can last a maximum of 1 hour and can only be formed once. In addition, the use of spy mode is not allowed. Had he just Unconsciously and against his wishes, his brain had started to play that game, and he couldn't erase those thoughts from his head. Yep. Oops. Are we back to the Cold War? Ho ho, we have a spy. What language is that? I don't know. Hmm. Oh my god, she's funny. Yep. Hmm. Oh well, it makes sense. This is pretty much just Among Us as a visual novel. Except there isn't really an imposter, but it's how do I put this? No imposters, but everybody has to accuse an imposter. If the game continues after 10 hours have passed, players will have to end it immediately with blank. Very similar to the original premise of 999. I remember that game. What? Lime is silly. I like her. Okay. The Spy Strikes Back, Electric Boogaloo. That's true. The first one also mentioned a spy. My head hurts because of all this nonsense. Oh, wait, it's the usual. Even with doubt still in the air, those are the main rules. Can't we play Una and leave it at that? I hope you mean Uno. Wait, you don't know Una? I may be old, but I do know that much. I do know that much Spanish. Look, I can count. Una, due, trois, etc. Molto bien, you passed. ¿Por qué? Complaining is pointless. The young man assigned the name Billiards saw things differently. Playing the game wasn't his priority or even figuring out his number. That situation, typical of a horror movie, was a one-way road with a dead end. Literally. Oops. I gotta stop. Like, my middle finger twitches at times. Hmm. And if we confirm it's real, we have to play. He looked all around at the faces of his alleged opponents, some with a confident look, others with a confident grin, some confused, or not taking it seriously, others staring at their barman's screen with sweat drops on their foreheads, or faces wanted to scream, "Yeah, it is going fast." Oh, that's me. An hour in, and there's a title card. Oh, save game? Alright. I'll play a tiny bit more. Okay. 5 years had passed since that day. The day his life completely changed and his search started. He wasn't looking for anything special, only something ordinary yet essential. A life. That was all. A life he could be proud of, one that could be remembered in his last moments, without any regrets. No, not even that. He didn't mind having some regrets. He was ready to make some mistakes as long as they were minor. There was no specific dream, no exact goal to reach, only a simple wish of happiness like anyone would. That was part of his wish. The part where he differed from everyone else, ironically, was his yearning to be part of society. One of many, nobody special. While most desire individuality, he searched for a simple peace to reside in, a normal life. That didn't mean he had no ambitions, he wasn't looking for mediocrity, but he simply didn't need anything special. Many had laughed at him because of that, or had tried to change his mind. However, even though his dream was simple, ordinary, basic, with nothing special and boring, his willpower to reach it had been clearer and stronger than anybody would have anticipated, even surprising himself. It had been 5 years since he had started living alone, still a teenager. He still had a long way ahead, and many years nothing had changed in his last 4 years, unlike 6 years before when his life had changed completely. His life had slowly improved, and he got used to his new independent life. Until. Prologue. Hello? Oh, it's loading. Now he was there, at that bar. You can now access the map. So this is where I've been. You can now access profiles. Trying to calm down, Bill breathed deeply. In an instant, his life had changed completely, losing everything he had taken years to build up. He managed to get out of the small world that had trapped him for almost all his life. So now having his life trapped again in that bar, the Golden Jack. A world even smaller, emptier, almost bare of life. He had to escape that prison and recover his life, but he wasn't planning on doing it as his jailer intended. Some could see it as making an already difficult situation even worse, however. From his point of view, it was the only valid option. If he wanted to get back the life that had been taken from him, he had to keep his hands clean of blood. He wasn't particularly religious, so it wasn't about not tainting his soul with sin, even about avoiding jail. There was a much bigger, more important reason. He was simply incapable of killing. Before anything else, I propose we all investigate this place. Agreed. For now, let's have a truce. Exactly. We need to act, but be careful, everyone. Got it! Nobody said anything else, simply leaving in different directions. It wasn't fully clear if they had accepted the truce, though thankfully only one of them had the power to break it. Most of them left pretty quickly, leaving only a handful by the counter. With nobody paying attention to him, Bill decided it was finally time to act. Didn't take long to find what he was looking for. The exit, or technically speaking, the entrance, a space that appeared separate from the rest of the bar, walled off by blameless plants that made looking inside from the sides a difficult task. In front of it on the floor lay a welcome sign. Not very welcoming in their situation, though. Welcome to the Golden Jack. Two, you must remain inside the Golden Jack. If that rule existed, it can only mean one thing. He stretched his arm, grabbed the handle, and slightly pushed it. The door really wasn't closed. The only thing that stopped them from opening it and leaving was that rule. Oddly enough, it opened outwards. A strange design choice for an entrance. Considering the game, though, no one would want to enter that bar, only exit from it. Perhaps that was why, without thinking about it, he had pushed it instead of pulling it. He gulped. His much desired escape was within one hand rotation. But then what? Considering that someone with the ability to leave existed, it was a reasonable assumption that what lay beyond wasn't freedom. Not even number two could really escape the game. There was a big problem, an obstacle that anchored them to it. Your bodies have been poisoned. Yep. They weren't sure if that was true, but that wasn't a threat they could ignore. Yeah, this could be a very cruel hidden camera program. Ow. He barely opened it before closing it again, immediately taking a step back. He knew that the more he opened it, the more time he let it be opened, the harder it'd be to resist the urge to leave. Yep. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm just gonna read. Oh. In 2 hours we go through the door? Use the blue disc to change the music? I'm trying to find the one song. Nope. 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 Okay, I'll leave it. Right-click the ball to choose direction and left-click to hit. Wait, so everywhere we go is randomized? He wasn't expecting to find much, but he thought he might as well check the bathrooms. At least the one he could enter without feeling bad. Oh, hi, Vodka.
Oh, we almost ran into each other, young man.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I'll be more careful. Did you look into it?
What, the restroom? When you reach my age, this becomes sacred grounds. One day you'll understand, young one. That's assuming we get out of here, of course. Don't give me that face. I was born pessimistic, and it's only gotten worse with time.
Wrong thing again.
Thankfully, this doesn't seem like it'll last for more than a day, so we'll know our fates soon enough. It also means we won't have any food issues. Now that would be hell, let me tell you.
I still don't have a plan, but I'll look for a way out without losing lives.
An idealist, I see. That's the spark of youth. Good for you. Certainly a happy ending would be ideal, but if we do end up having to play this ghoulish game where only 3 survive... Well, I think we can all agree on one thing. Those who have more life ahead of them should have priority when it comes to surviving.
Vodka was right, but that didn't change the fact that it was hard to hear. He didn't know how old he could be, but even if he was more than 80, it still wouldn't be very pleasant to hear him imply he'd be a sacrifice.
Here comes that face again. Should you really be worrying so much about me? I'm just some old fart. Surely the only reason I'm here is because I'm an easy target.
No. That sudden howl caught Vodka off guard, and it also surprised Bill himself. Age doesn't take away a life's value. Killing's off the table, but we can't be killed either.
I'm not looking for my death either. If I was, I would have already screamed my number aloud. I simply don't have the energy nor motivation to play this game seriously. Moreover, if number 1 came at me armed, I wouldn't have the strength to protect myself.
In that case, I'll protect you.
Eh? I don't think you'd make for a very good bodyguard, to be honest. I won't stop you if you keep insisting on taking care of me like a nanny, but I insist it's not necessary. I understand that you would feel bad if anybody died. It's obvious that it's not pretty to see a body, or even worse, smell it, but I can take care of my own.
It's not what you said earlier.
Fancy yourself a lawyer now? Looking for contradictions? Do whatever you want to do, as long as you don't let me be a weight on your shoulders. If you died protecting me, that wouldn't make me very happy either, see?
Understood.
Very good. I appreciate the enthusiasm, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a priority. Hopefully we find a way to survive and this game will be water under the bridge.
Yeah, I'll search here. Maybe there's something that can help us.
Like what?
The poison is the reason we're trapped here, but the antidotes must be somewhere if we find a way to get to them.
I suppose, yes. They won't be in the restroom, though.
Probably not, but maybe there's a secret passage that leads to the antidotes or outside. Even if we have the poison, if we can't get to a hospital in time, we could be saved. It was clearly improvising.
Don't want to be the party pooper, but after doing my business, I did do a quick check for anything interesting and came out empty-handed. No secret door to the outside to speak of, sorry to say. Unless I happen to miss it, so be my guest, try your luck with that optimism of yours.
There was a secret door, it would be well hidden, so maybe by searching thoroughly...
There it is. Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
Man, there's really a lot to say. No, I'm trying to aim the ball. Oh, I get it. It's weird that our direction is like almost randomized. A large fish tank. Oh, hi, Coffee. The young woman known as Coffee who wasn't deaf. Had to talk, know each other, understand each other. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, you are desperately overthinking this, Bill. Did I screw up again? Already? The hell did I do wrong? Want me to help? No. Okay, I thought Yeah. I understand that you don't trust me, but we should help each other to survive. The others could see you as suspicious if you keep your distance too much, and... So what? Oh. Well, that could be dangerous. I can take care on my own. Go somewhere else. Total rejection. Well, I guess... Oops. Well, I guess I just wanted to make it clear that we shouldn't see each other as enemies. We can't let this game influence us. Do you prefer all of us dying together? No. We have to escape together, every one of us. Sure. Sure? What is that supposed to mean? I thought she was looking for a way out, but you aren't going to join this madness, are you? Not silence again. Who knows? No doubt left. He did not know how to deal with that person. At least she hadn't said yes. Could he consider that a partial win? Let's just go for now. He had lost the battle, but not the war. All right. Yeah, let's go there. Oh, giant piano. But this is actually going to be where I save and go back to the title screen. Oh, whoops. Go back to the title screen. Yes. So this has been Beyond Our Rule Ripper by Toriv and GJ Staff. And you know what? I'm kind of intrigued by this writing. There's a lot of it that feels very natural. Plus, I do actually like the artworks for all the characters. They seem very fun, very intuitive. What am I even saying? I guess I just like the character art. And I do like the jazz that plays in the background. And yeah, I do think that it takes a little too long in order to get this entire premise off the ground. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints. This is actually kind of nice. So that's going to be it for the video, everybody. If you're very interested in trying out this demo for yourself and going farther than I did, then definitely check out Beyond Our Rule Ripper for yourself. If you liked what you saw, I see how this works. That's cool. If you liked what you saw, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Have fun.